Welcome to the Think Factory podcast. We got one question for you. What keeps you up at night?
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the first on-site podcast from the Think Factory podcast. And I'm your host, Chris Santamassimo, on the floor of the Printing United Expo here in Atlanta. And with me is my good friend, Errol Moebius, the president and CEO of
IST America.
IST America. So, Errol, it's such a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for the inaugural podcast episode here at the show.
Perfect. Great to be here, Chris. Looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's going to be a good event for everybody. We're especially excited.
Well, so far, so good. I mean, we were joking before the podcast about IST is often confused for first, and here you are in the first podcast. So,
well, we try to get the first line. So, if they go with first or IST, I think we can handle it. Yeah.
Well, you've been around long enough to get that first title. You've been around since 1992. As I understand it, and really one of the leaders in the UV curing space.
Yeah, IST has been around for a long time, pretty well known in the industries, in all the industries in printing, plus some other things which are coming up, which I think are interesting for us to know about. But our focus here at this show is for printing typically, and a lot of push and excitement about being able to offer solutions to customers, not necessarily mercury, which is traditionally thought about, but the possibility of also looking at some different technologies, LED, which is very strong at the moment, really related to application and to offering solutions. So IST, we're proud to say we've got a good service team, a good production team, a good support team from technical experience and application. So we're really looking forward to being able to support, meet our customers again and get ourselves in the market and focused.
Well, and you've been around since 1992 in the United States, so you've really got a foundation built, and you're headquartered in Illinois right here in the U.S.?
That is correct, yes.
Yep. So when you talk about solutions, I mean, service is always top of mind for your customers, I'm sure. And you mentioned you've got a great service team.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about what that means.
Well, we do have a service team based out of Chicago area for scheduling and setup, but we cover the whole North American market. We look at supporting some of Mexico and some of Canada, depending on what the needs might be. But we have a strong service team out there who are able to get to different regions and support customers with the different applications. And I think that's critical for us to keep that update with all the technology changes that are going on.
What do you see are some opportunities here at Printing United in terms of the future for IST?
Well, I think for us it's important to get back and to get well known as being the number one or the first in the industry. So I think that's critical for us. The market is changing quite a lot, and there's a lot of consolidation with companies, so they don't necessarily all know what each individual company is doing, and we have solutions that can fit different needs, whether it's sheet fed, whether it's packaging, whether it's label, whether it's industrial. So we're looking to cover all of those areas and get ourselves in front of the market.
Is IST as excited about packaging and opportunities there as a lot of companies that we see on the floor here?
Absolutely. I mean, packaging is a big percentage of our work, but we don't want to forget the others in the industrial area, the industrial segment, not so much for this industry. But in the textile and the converting lines, we're certainly there. The label industry is critical for us as well. So, yeah, we're looking to cover the whole spectrum and really engage with our customers if we can.
And what's exciting about UV, though, in those spaces?
Well, I think the traditional gloss and glamour is there for sure. Speed, turnaround, quickness to market, changing smaller quantities, things like that. And the fact that the UV technology has changed so fast in the last few years, especially bringing the LED spectrum into it, making it a lot more environmentally friendly, a lot more sustainable. So a lot of things that have to go into it, but it has to be understood which solution will fit the segment, let's call it.
Right. But since you've got such a wide portfolio of products, you can really hit both the small packager and the large packager.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody is a first customer for us or a first support person for us. So we look to do that. We don't try not to differentiate. But yes, there is the smaller solutions that we can cover with our LEDs. We have the bigger mercury systems depending on the complexity of the installation, or we can have the hybrid type where we could combine the 2 or 3 or some different technologies that are coming forth.
Terrific. And what's exciting about Printing United is to see all of the technology and all the new products all in one space. What do you see as opportunities in the market for 2024 and beyond?
For 2024 and beyond, I think we're going to look at our label market, at our converting lines. There's a lot of things, opportunities opening up with the LED in different segments that we're involved in as well. Automotive industry, water purification industry. So a lot of things there. Printing United for us is looking into the the technology that developments with machine manufacturers and integration into their systems. So especially in the digital arena, we're looking to see what we can do with working with different vendors and suppliers in those areas as well.
Well, and speed and efficiency are always top of mind for everyone, and certainly the UV curing that you provide enables companies to be a lot more faster and a lot more responsive to customer needs.
Absolutely. When we look at those sort of things, we're fortunate to work with some of the manufacturers who are on the leading edge of, if you call it on the speed side, understanding the technology and the integration. So that's crucial for us. And then to help and support the customers who are on the other spectrum where they want the quality and the speed is not so critical. But then we need to look at the sustainability and things like that. So a lot of different things come into play when we're looking at offering a solution.
In closing, Errol, one of the things we ask a lot of our podcast guests is what keeps you up at night, whether it's printing or elsewhere in some of the businesses that you serve?
Well, that's an interesting question. There's a number of things. A big thing for me at the moment, I would say, is probably looking for good support people to continually grow our depth of technology and knowledge base. I think that's crucial. We are in the printing industry, I would say specific into a more aging generation, so try and get the youngsters involved and engaged. And for me, I try and think of ways that would make it easier to entice people to come into the technology and understand what the printing is, and hopefully put some things in place that can help us from a support side to be able to continue to grow.
Well, I agree with you. And you know, the labor issues and attracting the next generation and beyond is always on the minds of folks here. I wish you could bring a bunch of the youngsters into this show and give them just a taste of what's here on the floor.
Absolutely,
that'd bring a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. If we could do a smaller scale to the different universities or colleges or vocational schools or something like that, I think it's critical. So working with the industries and printing industries and training industries and things like that, we try and see what we can do. So, yeah.
Well, Errol, thank you so much for coming to visit us today. Again,
appreciate it, Chris.
Thank you. It's Chris Santomassimo and Errol Moebius here on the Think Factory podcast at the Printing United Expo. Have a great show.